What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, this time on the main PC, and we're gonna do ourselves some Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, since I've been trying so many different things out on other computers, it's taken me a lot longer to get this done. It's been multiple days now. Plus, I got owned by Denuvo, or their own anti-cheat or whatever, saying, you've played on too many computers, which isn't really a big deal for most people, but when you have as many as me, it screws me over from trying to make you guys videos. But whatever, nothing to get mad about, that's just the way it is. So instead, I decided, all right, well, I'll just take a break and do something else. I ended up playing a bunch of that digging a hole game. A game about digging a hole, that's what it was called. Trying to figure out what the hell's at the bottom of that place. Anyway though, so today we're gonna see how the game runs on this. Hopefully it'll run halfway decently. Almost on everything I have figured out a way to get halfway decent performance. So, should be able to here too. So, let's wonder no more and let's jump on in. Alright, so here we go. We're just gonna do what we did on the rest of the stuff and start out maxed out, native resolution with ray tracing and all that stuff. And I don't think even this thing can quite manage 60 FPS without some help from DLSS. But I believe it can play maxed out as long as you just do DLSS quality. At least in the areas I was at. But we'll still try some other stuff out too. But anyway, let's go get ourselves into the game. Here we are in the game. And I can definitely tell you right off the rip before I even take one step, DLSS definitely is much better than FSR in this game, although it just is in general. I mean, this wasn't even a bad implementation of FSR, but man, DLSS just clears it. But I was correct, we cannot get a constant 60, at least while recording. Though I think even without that, it would not quite do it. Yeah, I don't think it would get 10 FPS from recording. It's like 2 to 5-ish. Yeah, that definitely tastes like Fruity Pebbles. Shit. But yeah, not gonna lie, as badly optimized as the game is, it's still getting a lot better FPS with all this stuff maxed out at native 4K than a lot of games I've tried. A lot of games I'd be in the 20s right now. Mind you, a lot of those same games also look 10 times better than this, let's be honest. Luckily, the high texture pack does make it look quite a bit better. Alright, well that was lame. We got a crash right at the end of that recording. Anyway though, we're still gonna just keep trying this out, and we're gonna turn DLSS on to quality now. I mean, if it crashes, it crashes. I'm just gonna keep on getting you guys footage. Although, if I remember correctly, I think it stops crashing after this. But we shall see. Well, here we are in the game. And now we barely stay above 60 in town, but we still stay above 60 in town while recording. Would probably be at like 64 as the lowest FPS it had we not been recording right now. Because I do record at like 100 bit for bit rate, because I like it to look as close to what I see as possible, and I know YouTube is going to butcher its bit rate a lot anyway, so I try to make it as good as I can. I mean, without spending like $10,000, $20,000 on one of those crazy red 8K cameras. We're not there yet. Maybe one day, but not now. I think we got more than good enough audio quality and video quality for where we're at. Probably a lot more than most people with my sub count have. I just figured, why the hell not? If you're going to do something, even if it's just for fun, you might as well do it as right as you can. Now, if I could just figure out how to, like, edit better, I could do, like, side-by-sides and all that stuff. But every time I try, I just fail. Really bad. But just because you fail a couple times doesn't mean you should just give up. But the main reason is, it's just like, there's other people that do it 10 billion times better than me. I like just doing the gameplay like this. Just like a normal person would. Just go out there, show you guys the frame rate and the frame time, and just be like, there we go. Anyway, let us move right along. Well, now we're gonna try out frame gen, but the recording makes it look stuttery and laggy. But it's not like that when you're not recording it with shadow play. I came back in and made absolutely sure. Same thing happened in Alan Wake 2 and a couple other games when I tried to record it. But not really necessary in a system like this anyway, but I still wanted to try it out. So just ignore all the stutter. Alright, we're in the game. But as you can see, the recording makes it look really janky. But as you can tell, yes, the frame time does have like itty bitty little skips, but nothing like this. These would be showing up as gigantic frame time skips if this was the actual game running like this, but it's just the recording. Anyway though, still gonna get some data because you can just look at the FPS and the frame time graph and just kind of ignore the stutters. But I did not do any more frame gen footage after this just because I didn't want it to do this. Alright, time to move on. Alright, so, no more frame gen. But we can at least turn ray tracing off now and just see what it's like. Just native. We'll do that, and then we'll come back and do quality DLSS. I almost called it FSR because I've done so many AMD systems here. Still have a few more AMD systems than I do in NVIDIA based, but I still have 3 NVIDIA GPUs right now. But anyway, let's get into the game. Alright. Here we are in the game. And it seems like even without ray tracing, you still can't get 60 plus native 4K, at least in the city. We'll probably do alright-ish once we get out of the city, but yeah, cities seem to just be a no-go. Even for this kind of CPU. Now when I get my new computer built, I will obviously try this game out on that too. But still no luck on that Astral 5090. Got everything else I need to build. Alright, nope, still can't quite do it. There's lots of places out here it drops too, huh? Well, still worth the experiment, though. Yeah, it's really hard to run stuff native 4K, unfortunately. Even for a 4090. Though, I still think a game that looks like this should be doable, but not when it's the RE engine. Though I'd still rather it be this than Unreal Engine 5, 100%. But one day I hope they decide, since this game's so popular, they just make their own engine for it. But with how popular it is, they probably go, oh, we don't gotta do anything. Everybody loves it. Alright, here we go. We're gonna turn on some quality DLSS now. And I believe at that point, it gets really good FPS. Alright, let's get into that game. In the game we are. So, yep, like I thought. We got like a little bit more FPS, but not everywhere. There's some spots we still drop to the same 61, 62, just like we did with ray tracing on and everything. But in other areas, we get like 10, 15 more FPS. So I would say a lot of people would be more than willing to just drop the ray tracing for that, but I left it on at the very end for my settings. Wonder if there's a way to get to the other side of that chasm. Alright though, I'd say it's time for us to go on to the next setting. So now, just for fun, let's try turning it down to high. And that also puts it to balanced DLSS. We'll also disable that. I think that got turned on with frame gen. But I don't think I used that on anything else, really, so I felt it was unfair to have that on. I think we already had it on for something else, which kind of made the test not completely invalidated, but could have made it, you know, not apples to apples. Anyway, though, to the game. Well, here we are in the game. And definitely gets great FPS like this. And still looks really good. DLSS sure is magic. It's not perfect, but damn is it better than FSR. Like if I'm forced to use upscaling, I'm glad it has to be DLSS. Yeah, now we get really smooth frame times, we get really good FPS. And heck, if you wanted to put frame gen on for a little bit extra smoothness, you could go right ahead and do that and just have a little extra input lag. So that's why it's kind of like half the time it's like, unless it's absolutely necessary, like I like when it smooths the frame time out and like most AMD laptops and stuff, because they were just being terrible with the frame times before. But when I'm already getting FPS like this, I don't really like adding the extra input lag. That's just me though. Alright, time to move along. Alright. Yeah, so here's the settings I would run with. It still kind of almost falls under 60 in town, but manages to just barely stay on there. And we're not using Shadow Play or anything, so this is the best it can do with nothing interrupting it. But once you get out of town, it's really not that bad. Though I'd still say the smoothest way, if you want the smoothest gameplay, play on high. I know it sucks to not be on ultra and all that stuff and use the high texture pack and all this, that, and the other thing, but That was definitely the smoothest frame times. This is still a little bit wonky frame times here, and I'm still wondering if it's going to crash on us. It seemed to really like to crash with ray tracing, but the ray tracing definitely made things look just slightly better, without taking a gazillion amount of FPS away. At least from what I noticed, it doesn't seem to be much more than like 5 to 8 FPS difference. Hello, weird pangolin looking anteater things. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like an anteater and a pangolin just fusioned together. It's very interesting. Oh, there's that guy. Screw it. Let's just try to fight him this whole time, and we'll see if we crash or anything happens. Aha! I have hit you. His tail. I thought I could get his tail with that last swipe. There's also some other stuff you could probably turn off to make this look better. Usually I'll turn stuff off like that vinaigrette and like some of those other random things that mess with how the game looks. Let's see, this thing kind of runs around. Oops. Wonder if I can real quickly go show you what I'm talking about real quick. He's running off anyway. We'll go let him do his own thing. Yeah, normally I will turn stuff like this off. Like, that's okay. Depth of field I don't generally like either. And then bloom. That just kind of adds that effect. I don't really like that either. But anyway, it looks like we have found our creature, so let's keep kicking his butt. Woo! Almost got hit off my frickin' creature there. Ah, oh, good! Let's get back on this guy. It's pissed. And scared. Get your ass back here. I'm not gonna lie, I fought lots of stuff in Elden Ring on fricking the back of a freaking horse too. I mean, hell, that's how I fought most dragons. So I know it's not the correct strategy for this, but when I'm a one-man army, because I don't know what I'm doing, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of other people, well, that's just what you gotta do. You gotta figure out some way to kill this thing without getting your ass kicked, and this is my solution. It might take forever, it might look stupid, but it's working, and I've killed this guy multiple times using this strategy. Oh, I need to go and get more food too. That'll help. Speaking of which, not hunger, but let's also sharpen that. It's probably going to yell at me any second about that, if I think about it. We're going to play Ring Around the Tree. Oh, what the hell? He definitely does a lot more damage now. At least it sure feels like it. Maybe he does the same. Come back to me, random steed. Missed. Well, there goes his tail. Oh, I don't have my freaking thing out. Gosh darn it. Oh, it actually hit me anyway. Oh, he still got me. Well, that's okay. We'll get back on this guy. Oh, hit the wrong button though. Guess we won't get back on that guy. Alrighty. Looks like we're on the last stretch here. He's weak and is scared. And so far we played for like 14 minutes and no crash. I don't know what the fuck was up its butt before, but we seem to be okay now. Famous last words, gonna crash like right now. Sorry, fucko. I'm not letting you get away now. Not after all this work. You definitely... Creatures definitely make you work for it when you're by yourself in this game, though, that's for sure. Aww. There we go. And if I remember correctly, his tail is over here. I don't know if I have enough time to grab it, but I think it grabs everything for you anyway, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'd like to go over and grab it. I just don't know how all this works. Heck yeah. Go, Palco, go. But anyway, I think that's more than enough for this game. And the camera recorded gameplay. So why don't we go wrap the video on up now? Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Monster Hunter Wilds. I would have gotten you more footage of frame gen, but it doesn't like to be recorded with shadow play apparently. That's happened to me quite a few games. Also happened to me in Alan Wake 2 when I tried to get recordings of it. It would just be a stutter fest. So I can't really blame it too much. But at least I got to give you guys some footage, and with the right settings, just like with every other computer, you can make it not run like absolute garbage. Still needs more optimization though. You should not need a computer like this just to get halfway decent FPS. Of course, not everybody should be trying to max the thing out either, but when you've got an expensive system like this, most people are gonna want to either run ultra or high settings, so it seems to do those both just fine. You just can't do it native. Native seems to be basically dead right now. You basically have to use either DLSS or FrameGen, and sometimes you gotta use fucking both of those things. Hell, I had to use FrameGen on all my AMD systems, basically, at least the ones that could get close to 60, 80 FPS. I really don't even like using that shit till you get to around 80, but that's just me. I've had plenty of people try to tell me I'm wrong and that it feels amazing at 30, 40 FPS. And hey, if it works for you, cool. I'm not trying to assault nobody, but that doesn't feel very good to me. But that's just me. And I'm not everybody. That's why I'm glad options exist. The way someone else that chooses to play a game affects me zero. The only thing that ticks me off is when I see misinformation like, well, my PS5 Pro is faster than 5 4090s. And I'm pretty sure they're just trolling and they know that that's not true. And they're just trying to get a rise out of people. But I'm not gonna let people that don't know nothing about nothing go, oh, cool, I can go get a $700 console and I'm gonna get the same experience as a $3,000 computer. It's like, no, you're not. It's an okay console, but let's be realistic here. And they both have their pluses and minuses. Sometimes you gotta deal with some garbage ports on PC, but for me personally, even the most garbage running port is better than paying like $800 to play at 1080p 60 FPS, still with frame drops, mind you. That would piss me off, but that's just me. It still pisses me off on my expensive computer too, but when you're used to everything supposedly working flawlessly on console, that would irritate me to start having things go, oh, now things aren't running like at perfect frame rates, even 30 FPS. Most of the time they had lock. Now they're dropping at 30, they're dropping at 60 FPS modes, and that's not usual. They didn't used to do that all the time. I mean, the Switch did, but it is what it did. But sorry, just started going off on a little tangent there, so kind of a long outro, but it's time for me to shut the hell up so I can go get started on the main TV PC now. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.